We are going to do one more message from Jesus today, and this is from January 11, 2018. Dear ones, I am ready to go forward with the messages that I have in store for you to give to the people of the world that are dying for want of the truth. But I know every soul and how to reach them through what I have given you to share with them. You see, the truths that I have given you are the second apartment concepts that comprise the three angels' messages for the final generation. The three angels' messages, by the way, are found in Revelation 14, beginning with verse 5. For every age there is a new development of truth that speaks specifically to the people of that generation. And right now, the application of the first angel's message is the understanding of the judgment of the living and how to go through it successfully and be among those who are among the 144,000. Not a great number will understand it and go on to receive and experience it to its fullest extent. But many will rejoice with the concept that a cleansed remnant is now possible, and will abandon the idea that I will go through the books of heaven and decide on the saved or lost without any participation from the believer. This puts a satanic view of my character of love and drives people to either fear me and be in constant terror of my judgments, or to fall into apathy and put off the imminence of my coming. So even though not all who receive and accept your message will go on to completion and live through, at least the faulty concept of the judgment will have been cleared up, and they can go as far as possible to experience it for their cleansing before they are laid away saved. It takes a certain quality of mind to go all the way through the cleansing process, and not all are able to do this. But I will reward those who go as far as they can, with an exalted position in heaven and a place around my throne, commensurate with their progress in holiness while on earth. But the 144,000 will go through the entire cleansing and understanding of experience by experience while on earth. This personal experience and understanding cannot be duplicated in heaven, for it is only possible to experience it and the full cleansing of every sin while still in a sinful state and environment, and be overcomers while in the human condition before translation. That is the same human body that I had while I was upon earth. And in that body I worked out a perfect character, not by succumbing to sin, but by overcoming every temptation that can come to man through a constant, unbroken communication with my Father, and perfect submission to his will at all times, without ever once dipping into the sinful thoughts and feelings and impulses of the nature of man. Do not ever think that I felt the lusts of the flesh, the angers and passions of the fallen nature, or the pride of life. I listened only to my Father's voice in every temptation, and came off victorious over the human passions and temptations of the devil. And so it can be for you. For I have paved the way for you to be cleansed and receive my character, my holiness of thoughts and feelings, and the unbroken connection with me that I had with my Father. Through the cleansing of thought, mind, and spirit that I am providing for you now, you can receive the spotless robe of my righteousness. Not to cover the sins that you have not been victorious over, but to represent my life in all that you do, say, think, and feel. It is those who accept my offer to go completely through the cleansing, no matter what the cost, who will be among the 144,000 and live through the end until my coming without seeing death. It is these who will represent all the saved from all the ages who went as far as they could in their generation and followed me and represented me with all they understood at the time. My faithful prophets and the people listened to them and obeyed the light that came from me through them are accounted worthy in their generation. But now all the accumulated light is shining. What was obscure in the days of the apostles and prophets is now made plain and is shining upon this generation. And thus, this generation is held responsible for all the light from the beginning of time. That's found in Luke 11 for you to look up. Thus, the weakest generation has the most light, and therefore there will be no excuse for not knowing all that is necessary to be ready for my coming. The war with sin is almost over, and my grace is still outstretched to everyone to come to the banquet of light and knowledge and understanding of me and my plan of salvation, so that there will be no excuse for those who turn away from the light and feed on the husks of evil that the devil so freely offers to humanity today, especially through the media, which will be the damnation of this evil generation. But my faithful ones are ignoring the siren sounds of the media and are feeding upon my word and drinking in of my spirit and my truth for this hour of history. Like Daniel, they are controlling their appetites and passions in spite of the constant seductions around them. These are a spectacle to men and angels, and to demons who cannot understand why their seductions do not tempt my chosen ones to indulge in worldly things that would lead to their destruction. In the same way, the devil tempted me while I was upon the earth, and I stood firm in my integrity. And so may you. Every day, every moment, you may have my sustaining power if you will avail yourselves of it. I will cleanse you of every lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, if you will allow me to live in your heart every moment. Then you will be at peace with me living in you, and your heart will be at rest in my love. Then my chosen ones will go forth as an army with banners, fully filled with my spirit, and my character of love will be displayed before men and angels who are amazed at the miracle of what my grace can do to raise people from the dust of sin and create beings in my image once again, just as I did with Adam and Eve in the beginning. Then the 6,000 years of recreation will be finished, and we will celebrate the 1,000 years of peace together, a celestial Sabbath of rest, to wipe away all tears and memory of sin, and restore the years that the locust has eaten. And when sin and sinners have been destroyed in the lake of fire, and the beautiful new earth has been recreated as a love gift to my victorious people who have followed me all the way through the plan of salvation, the former things will not be remembered or come into mind, except for the eternal memory of my sacrifice and the price that had to be paid for the salvation of mankind, so that sin will never rise again throughout the ceaseless ages of eternity. And that day is coming so soon. Yet there is a preparation work to be done, and together we will accomplish it speedily. Always keep uppermost in your minds how much I love you, and never allow a shadow of Satan or his temptations to cause you to look away from me, to sully your soul. Look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws near. And always remember that I am just a prayer away. Lovingly, Jesus.